Hi guys. I am, as usual, running just a couple of errands, and I figured I would bring you guys along with me. I literally stayed at home pretty much all day yesterday. I did do one thing, but it was just a really kind of uneventful day, so I was like, let me get my errands done today and I'll do a little vlog. Things are a little hectic right now. I shared on Instagram that yesterday I was supposed to be going to get tattooed, but you know, part of being an adult and having responsibilities is dealing with things like a broken washer, and it wasn't anything dramatic or anything like that. Luckily it didn't like flood our house or anything dramatic like that, but it did stop working. I'm also equally as grateful that it's being replaced, and I had to be present. And the washer was gonna come yesterday. Now it's not coming till this week, so you know, it's a little bit of a thing, but that's just life, and we'll have a new washer and then proceed on with, you know, everything from there. But yeah, that's what's going on. I want to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff today. I have no clue what I'm going to title this video, but we're going to talk about Allinwithari. We're going to talk about a little bit of true crime stuff that I've come across. We're going to talk about a new TikTok page that I came across where the parents are oversharing with their daughter who struggles with autism. And of course, we're going to talk about some of Alicia Dougherty's recent TikToks because I was over there taking a look to see what good old Alicia has been up to. So this is going to be a whole bunch of different stuff. And yeah, we're just going to talk. So first things first, let's talk about Allinwithari. You know, I've stopped covering her obviously because she's not uploading content anymore. There's really nothing else to say about her and kind of what she did. But I went over to her last video that she uploaded, and there were some comments over there saying, hey, where'd you go? Like, these are actual subscribers that are concerned about where she is and wondering what's going on, because she hasn't updated anybody. She hasn't said, hey, I'm gonna take 6 months off, don't expect any videos from me. Hey, I'm gonna take 2 months off, I'm gonna be working on some other stuff. Like, that's just kind of what you do when you have an audience and you're going to take an extended period of time off. Most people will update their audience to say this is kind of what to expect. That's just my opinion. Not everybody needs to do that. It is kind of the courteous thing to do when you have people that are really accustomed to seeing your regular uploads. And even if regular for you is a few times a month, if you just disappear for a couple months, of course people are going to have questions. But there were people over there wondering, and she didn't respond to anybody, so I don't know what her plan or stance in all of this is. But I was sitting there thinking through, well, could she come back to YouTube and kind of regain her footing on making these vlogs? And my opinion on her coming back would be, there would have to be some kind of interview done. And I know that that seems really official to some people, but she really caused a lot of people upset after they gave her their money. And I think if she came back and, you know, tried to talk about everything, and she decided that she wanted to be truthful and try to start uploading again, I think that the video would be full of blabbering nonsense, motivational quotes, toxic positivity, and some Bible verses. I think that's what her version would be. What people really want to know is about the court documents that were uncovered, about her mistreatment of her child. And the second thing would be, I mean, the thing with her child is like top priority. Like, that covers like 80% of why people were upset with her. The other 20% would just require some transparency about, what is the truth with her? What is really going on with this? Because if you're grifting online and you're saying that you're homeless and all of this kind of stuff, like, most people that are doing that are not then coming out and saying, oh, I'm shopping for a van, I quit my job to do YouTube full time. All of these kind of sudden changes just because she had a couple of videos do really well doesn't sit right with people when you're still using hashtag homelessness, hashtag invisible people. People don't appreciate it. There are other unhoused people that are not doing what she's doing. So people don't need to waste their time with Allinwithari. And that's kind of how I feel about it. It needs to be a video full of truth, preferably orchestrated by somebody else, asking the questions and her providing an honest answer. Now, do I care if she comes back? No, I don't, personally, because her content was never for me. So if someone's content is not for me, why do I care if they're uploading? I don't. Maybe that's a little harsh. I don't really care. It's not me saying anything super negative, but I really don't care if she comes back and wants to make content, because her driving around, spending money at Target and wasting gas and getting $10 cups of coffee, that's never something that I would have consumed and been invested in. That's just me. Yesterday, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of Elvis and Graceland, and, with the untimely passing of Lisa Marie, TikTok has been pushing out a lot of Elvis and just like Presley family content. And I ended up on that side, and I've been watching a lot of the photos. They don't allow you to take video inside of the house. You can take it kind of driving up the driveway, but once you get inside, you can only take photography and no flash photography. So a lot of times what people will do is just put together a slideshow, but I've been watching a lot of that stuff. I've just kind of fell down a rabbit hole when it comes to that, just, it's very interesting. Like, some parts of history are very intriguing to me, and once I start to consume it, I have a problem to cut it off. Like, I'll sit up till 2 a.m. just watching this stuff. With Lisa Marie passing, so sad, so tragic, so sad. I feel for Priscilla. I feel for Lisa's daughters that are survived by her, and it's just such a untimely passing. Her appearance at, I think it was the Golden Globes. I don't watch the award shows, but I'm pretty sure it was just the Golden Globes. She was there 2 days before her passing, and a lot of the clips and interviews, you could tell that she was unwell, and it made my heart sore seeing her in that situation, and then hearing about her passing just 48 hours later is just devastating. I hope that Priscilla is surrounded by people who love her right now, because I cannot imagine experiencing so much loss. Just surviving everybody around you is a really hard thing to go through, and I know a lot of people, I'm sure some of y'all watching this video have lost a lot of people in your life, and it's just really tough. It's tough to process everybody passing before you, especially when those people are younger than you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the TikTok page that I came across thanks to one of my amazing followers over on Instagram. The username is Jessica Autism Stories. Some of y'all might have come across this page, I'm not sure, but they have definitely been talked about over on TikTok, followers and other people, not happy with the type of content that this page is putting out. And it's basically Jessica and her two parents, mom and dad. And there was one video that went kind of viral because Jessica was having a meltdown and her father approached her and shoved her onto the couch. I guess he thought that was the way in which he was going to, quote, calm her down. But it was really upsetting. It's an upsetting clip. I will share it just for context, and I will obviously blur her face.
Well, Mummy said no, and you're still trying to get them. You two go away then.
It was a difficult clip to consume, and anytime a child is put out on video having a tough time, whether it's a child with autism having a meltdown or a child without autism just having a tough moment, when parents use that as content, it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel just, you know, it's like you want to reach through the screen and like help this child. And it's so sad because the parents think that they're actually spreading awareness. And as I've said before, awareness can be done on social media, but it takes a very special person to be able to spread awareness in a productive manner. All right, you guys, I stopped to get Axel a couple of things that he needed. So maybe I will pop that into the end of the video for you guys, anyone who is curious. I still need to get a couple things, but I'm far from home and I don't want to get milk and that kind of stuff if, you know, I'm far from home. So I'll have to do that a little bit later. But either way, so going back to Jessica's autism stories on TikTok, this whole idea of spreading awareness, I find it to be wonderful. And I think that it can help a lot of people. Now, do I think that people should be giving medical advice online? No, I don't. But I do think that you can share your own experience and then encourage people to talk to their own doctors about what the best route for them to go. That's fantastic. But when it comes to these tough moments that kids have, I'm tired of it being veiled as awareness. If you want to make people aware of what a meltdown is, there's no reason why you can't explain what happened, explain how you handled it, and share that with social media. People don't need to see this entire situation, and then the dad gets frustrated, pushes her onto the couch. It just makes me very uncomfortable, and I don't personally think that showing the world these tough moments is going to impact these kids as adults in a positive way, because the world saw them have their toughest moments on the internet. After that video came out on Jessica having her tough moment, people obviously called out the parents in the comments section. Hey, this doesn't belong online. Hey, you should take this down. This is wrong. It's uncomfortable and it's painful to watch. And like most people online, what did they do? They left it up. It's still up right now. And they doubled down to tell people how right they were and how wrong everybody else was for sharing their opinion.
Hi guys.
Hiya. We just wanted to address that video for the last time. I'm not going to comment or video about anything about that video again. It's gone after this.
Yeah, we just feel that the point has been massively missed. Some people have even sort of got up to it and then jumped over it without realising what we're trying to get at.
I just wanted to share awareness of what also happens with autism. Jessica can have those meltdowns outside of the house when there's loads of people about, and the looks we get are just unreal, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah.
And I expect other parents can relate to that. We were on holiday in Devon last year, and she had the most hugest meltdown in the clubhouse. We had to remove her, but the amount of looks we had was, people just looked at us with disgust, thinking that she was a spoilt brat, when in reality she's not. She couldn't cope with something and she went into meltdown.
And there's a particular theme that keeps coming up, particularly some comments from some other people with autism, saying, you know, if I had a meltdown in public, I'd feel really ashamed and so and so. And this is the thing, you know, people with autism shouldn't have to feel ashamed that they have meltdowns. It's a part of who they are. And that needs to be accepted. As at the moment, the stigma surrounding autism and meltdowns in particular is enormous. And if people aren't free to show what it's really like and what some of the more unpleasant sides of how autism can affect you are, how are we ever going to move past this stigma without people just judging you and saying, oh, you're terrible parents, that kid's a spoiled brat? Or maybe if you're an adult and you get meltdowns, people say, what's wrong with them? You know, or trying to... all sorts of other nasty comments I've heard. I'm not going to repeat them. We need as a society to move past this point. It is never going to happen if you try and show the reality of what happens with autism, sometimes you get screamed at to stop.
And that's where you're just trying to raise awareness. And a lot of comments that are coming up as well, I don't love my child. That really cuts deep, because Jess means that. I see I'm getting emotional talking about it now. But Jess means the world to me. And for you to turn around and say, I don't love my child, you have it so wrong. The hate is so wrong. We are just trying to raise awareness for other parents.
And anyone who does say that, I would say you've clearly looked at one video in isolation and made a completely wrong judgment.
It was 15 seconds, a 15-second clip. I didn't show the rest of the meltdown. I didn't show the bit before. I just showed a 15-second clip of it. I made a mistake maybe of not showing her 5 minutes after when she was perfectly fine. Like nothing had happened, but don't say that I don't love my child, because I do, more than anything.
We both do.
She is my absolute world, and I wouldn't change her for the world either. No. Even if she does drive me bonkers at times. No. I wouldn't change her.
No, it's just the meltdowns and things are just as much a part of her as all the fun and happy times. And that needs to learn to be accepted by society. And people stop judging when autistic people have meltdowns or similar episodes and can't cope with something. It needs to be recognised, and people need support, not to be told to hide it away and that they should be ashamed of it, because they shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. So please don't be ashamed of it and carry on being who you are, because that's what you need to do. And I will keep sharing awareness, and I will keep shouting it as loud as I can until people are heard, because people need to be heard more.
Until that poor parent who's had to take their child to a public place where they have a massive meltdown can have that happen without everyone around them instantly judging them as a terrible parent.
Yeah, I will keep sharing things, and I'll also share the good times. And there are a lot of happy times with us, and they certainly outweigh the bad times with her. They really, really do.
I've commented before how it really says a lot about somebody when they do something like that and they can't even take an ounce of accountability. They're telling you, we're right, you're wrong, and we're going to leave the content out there because we're so confident that we're correct. That's the really wild part to me. I know that people are imperfect. I'm imperfect. We all have mistakes that we make. That's just the way that life goes. But I just recently did a video on being teachable. And being teachable is really powerful. When you have an entire comment section telling you that this is inappropriate to put your daughter on the internet in this manner, and you still refuse to acknowledge that maybe we shouldn't have shared that, that tells me everything I need to know about your character. I might do a separate video dedicated to discussing some of the other things that I've seen on that channel, but that one video that went viral, it's really crazy to me, just the fact that it's still up. It's still there. That says a lot. So tell me how you guys feel about that. Do you want another video, maybe reacting to some of their other TikToks? Reacting to TikToks where kids are shown is really difficult because number one, a lot of them use copyrighted music, and number two, it's tough to show a video for context when so much of it has to be blurred out. So that's kind of the thing that I go back and forth with, is just, you know, do I show this blurred out? Is it going to make sense to you guys as you're watching it? I try to do my best, but it's definitely a little bit complicated. So either way, yeah, crazy with that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the TikTok true crime girlies and boys. They have absolutely lost all sense of reality. These people are over on TikTok having full-on just tantrums about the Idaho case. There are people over there being upset with the justice system because they have chosen to not release a lot of information. There's been a gag order issued. They also will not release information when it comes to the findings of of what they found basically when they searched the suspect's apartment in Washington. And the people on TikTok are absolutely pissed off about it. These people, number one, they're not qualified to talk about open cases. Number two, they're not qualified to share opinions about what someone's mental health status might have been, what they were thinking, what kinds of diagnoses this person might have had or might not have had. All of it is unqualified. All they do is come up with a bunch of conspiracies. They get upset that they're not getting the information that they want so that they can share it with TikTok. They refuse to acknowledge the fact that these things are being protected so that it is a fair trial. Nobody is, the criminal justice system does not owe the TikTok true crime people any information. It's not owed to you. You're not entitled to any specific information. You're not entitled to it. And to literally hear these people so upset over the fact that they're not seeing the information that they want to see, is mind-blowing. Hey, how about this? Instead of getting clicks and views by using the Idaho case in your hashtags, in your video tags, why don't you talk about some open cases involving missing people? Why don't you talk about children that have been kidnapped? Use your platform for that, because the conspiracies and nonsense around the Idaho case is not doing anyone any favors except getting these people clicks and views. If you're actually, wanting to be an advocate for justice, then talk about some people that have been missing and they might not get the attention of the local news and the media the way that they should. It's just crazy to me, because you want to rant and rave about that, but what else are you doing with your platform aside from throwing conspiracies at the wall to see what sticks? I've seen the way that social media really can mess with true crime, especially when it's an open case. And I really like the true crime people that I consume. I like when they stay away from open cases. I like hearing about cases that have already gone through the justice system and there can be a conversation around it because it's already gone to trial and, kind of the book is closed. That's my personal opinion. To me, it feels icky to throw around all of these conspiracies when the person literally just died, or the people literally just died. So how is the family and friends of these victims going to feel when they come across your TikTok and all you're doing is blabbering your jaws to collect followers? I don't think that's what an advocate, like a true advocate, or someone who truly appreciates and respects true crime would do with their platform, but what do I know? 2 more topics I want to touch on in this video. Next is Brittany Dawn. I came across a TikTok on her Reddit that was sharing some of the qualifications of becoming a foster parent.
Dog is so sweet, but unfortunately we can't license homes with a dog of this breed. We aren't licensing baby-only homes at this time. Yeah, unfortunately, since your landlord won't let you put a fence around the pond, we won't be able to license your home. We got the background check back from your adult daughter who lives with you, and unfortunately it does not pass. Yes, we got your driving record. Unfortunately, at this time, it does not meet the standards for becoming a foster parent. So we are looking for more stability with your job and financials before we can license you. It seems that, your schedule is very busy, and I have a lot of concerns that you'll be able to fit in all the responsibilities of a foster parent. I think it makes more sense for you to check back with us when your schedule is a bit more available.
And the person that was outlining all of these things, most of them made sense to me, and I understand them. There were 2 towards the end of the video, and of course I'll play it for you guys. But there were 2 at the end that really made my ears kind of perk up when it comes to Brittany Dawn specifically. The first one is the fact that they want people to be financially stable, like financially secure, have your finances in order. That makes complete sense. You're taking on the financial responsibility of raising a child, even if it's for a week or for a year, it doesn't matter. We all know kids are expensive, and they want the foster parents to be able to financially provide for the child or children that they're bringing into their home. And when I think of Brittany Dawn and Jordan, me personally, I don't think of them as being financially secure people. I look at a pending lawsuit. I look at her wanting to make money any possible way that she can, to the point where she's been dishonest with subscribers. And Jordan, to me, I don't know what his job is right now. I'm not exactly sure what he does. But when you look at people and you look at like debt to income ratio, that's kind of number one of I just kind of scoff at Brittany Dawn and Jordan, because I see a lot of debt, minimal income because people are tired of her bullshit. I just don't see her as being a very lucrative person at this point in time. And that pending lawsuit also, you know, you have to pay attorneys. You're going to have to pay back the people, you know, that you scammed, hopefully. And so I just don't look at them as financially secure people. Okay, so obviously I'm getting gas, so I'll talk to you guys here for a second. But you can follow her Reddit. I'll link it down below. They kind of, you know, they're kind of all over it. Like they're very active on that Reddit is what I'm trying to say. So the last thing I want to talk about is our favorite food vlogger and mommy influencer, Alicia Dougherty. So Miss Alicia, first things first, this might be petty. I don't really care. She made these stupid floats. She's always making these floats for her kids, even though, according to her, they're not supposed to have a whole bunch of sugar. But obviously her content shows that they get a bunch of sugar all day, all night, whenever they want. But she makes these, quote, creamsicle floats with chocolate ice cream and orange soda. That makes me want to, like, vomit in my mouth a little bit. Like, that sounds like the most repulsive dessert that somebody could ever ask for. Not into it. Don't think it sounds good. In fact, it makes my stomach hurt. And she puts this over there, and people on TikTok were like frying her in the comments. I found that to be pretty funny, but I wanted to throw that in here. Now, one of her bio kids had his birthday, and his birthday haul was insane. So hold on one second. So this kid has his birthday, and of course she has to show everybody what she bought. Granted, this is 2 weeks after Christmas. We are hardly out of the holiday season where she spent, what, $30,000, $60,000? I don't remember what it was. When she shows his birthday haul, she goes through all the items, and of course it's, you know, the same stuff. Like, the kid just got a bunch of Christmas gifts, and she goes through and shows all this stuff, of course, adding more clutter, more mess to her house. She spent $1,200, approximately $1,200 on this kid's birthday. And I immediately went over to the comments section and wanted to see what people were saying in the comments. In the comments section, people are feeling bad about what they're giving for their kids. People are literally in the comment section saying, oh my God, I just put myself into debt to buy my kids a few Christmas gifts. And, you know, this is the person that you guys are supporting. The person that you guys are supporting is flexing on all of you guys. And I don't ever want someone to feel bad about what they're giving their kids, because as a reminder, materialistic stuff and giving them a house is not everything that kids need to be happy. It's not everything they need to flourish and be a productive member of society. Her oldest kid, I don't even know what he's going to do with himself. He's almost out of high school, and since Alicia overshares, I haven't heard her say anything about college, getting a job, doing a volunteer program so that he's not just sitting around the house. In my opinion, she has shown him that he can be a TikToker, and that is not normal. It's not okay. So don't, you guys, like, you know, I know that most of my subscribers don't do this, but don't ever watch these family vloggers and feel bad about what you're giving for your kids. Don't do it. Kids need presents. If you're there and you're listening and you're in tune and you're having conversations and giving them lessons, that is the core, kind of, you know, the cornerstone to what a kid needs. They don't need Roblox and gift cards and expensive tennis shoes and soda floats. That's not what they need, my opinion. She also did this TikTok trend where the song says, I thought you were going to school to become a nurse, blah, blah, blah. and she says, oh, why do you have so many kids? And her answer is, I like it. I think that it's different. Well, first of all, has nothing to do with going to school or anything like that. But if you're going to have all of these kids, I think, you know, most people look at that and say, that's wonderful. But as a reminder, all of her content has been toxic, problematic, oversharing, security issues, flex culture, and just nonsensical BS the entire time that she has been online. And she, in my opinion, is not a parent that I would celebrate. I see other parents online that I personally would celebrate. Alicia Dougherty is never going to be one of those unless she makes a massive change to her platform. And I realize that my validation means nothing to her, but it's my opinion and I'm here to share it. Last thing I want to talk about before I close this video out, my Miranda Sings video got restricted for limited ads. The reason I think this is so funny and hypocritical is because Miranda Sings is for kids. So you're not allowing my video to show up in the algorithm because I'm talking about her content is inappropriate for kids, but her videos don't get limited ads when the kids are actually consuming her content. Adults consume mine. So me talking about someone who is supposed to be child friendly and her audience is kids, as we've talked about, I talk about it and it's limited ads, which I don't really care at the end of the day. The reason that it matters is because that means that the video is not going to be in the algorithm the way that I want it to be. And if I'm sharing an important message, I want it in the algorithm. Just as a little bonus thing here in the end, I want to share with you guys 2 products that I bought recently that I hate. Number 1, the Dr. Squatch bar soaps. I kept seeing ads on TikTok. I fell into the hype. I wanted to try it because they have an exfoliating bar soap. So I ended up buying it. Hate it. Can't stand the smell. Not special. Overpriced bar soap. Totally not into it. Not worth it. And I'm sure y'all have seen the ads too. If you use it and you like it, that's amazing. Not for me. Meh. Second thing is the Makeup by Mario new foundation. Surreal Skin Foundation. I bought it. I tried it for a few days. Initially, I liked it, but after a couple of days, I realized that it was hanging onto my dry patches, no matter how well I prep my skin. And number 2, the coverage was a little too heavy for me. I prefer a tinted moisturizer or a skin tint, and I did try to manipulate the coverage a little bit by adding in an illuminating kind of moisturizer, and I also tried to add a couple drops of my rosehip seed oil to it. Still the same problems, so that was a fail too. But yeah, I'm trying to buy limited makeup nowadays. There's just not a whole lot that piques my interest, and I have stuff that I like to use at home. So either way, the very end of this vlog, I will show you guys what I got for Axel. And it might be a voiceover, we'll see, but I will close the video out here. So for now, if you like the video, please have a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.